The guys are out in the pickles and cucumbers right now, and my job to start out this morning is gonna be replacing these rollers on the washers. Now, if you don't know what these washers do, these are our vegetable washers. This one is for more of our clean stuff like peppers, eggplant. This is for more of the dirty stuff like potatoes and red beets. How it works is we put whatever we're washing onto this belt, feeds it into here where the rollers wash it, as well as the nozzles spray water down. They come through and then they come out onto these rollers where these are supposed to dry them off. They're actually sponges. And then they'll go into our basket or crate or box, whatever we have down here. Same thing over here, except we have a round table just to help organize stuff and give us a little bit more time. Yep, just like that. So you have that piece of PVC going through there, and the washer and the sponges just slide on. So how it works is, and I guess I can actually turn it on to show you. When we turn the switch on, it makes these rollers go around, then just making these spin. Like there's no actual power making these go around. It's only these guys right here. But you never really need to replace those. And these are held in by this board right here. So I had to loosen that nut, pull that board up, take the pressure off of it, and then they pulled right out. I got 2 more to go. I'll get those replaced and then I'll move on to the other guy. And there it is right there. Just a piece of Schedule 40 PVC. Nothing special. The first 3 that I took off were the ones back here, right where they come out of the washer and where it's the muddiest and where they get the wettest. And you can see how spent they were. And by spent, I just mean like wore out, really used hard. There's no white or nice foam left inside of there. And as you get towards the back of the washer, like right here, you can see how it's getting better. Like the mud has only seeped through a little bit. And then as you get towards the very end, you can see how nice these are. I'm not saying they're good, and I'm not saying I'm not gonna replace them, but I'm just showing you that they really get worn out right where the water comes out. The more dried out ones actually came off a lot easier. These ones are kind of stubborn. They're even kind of like stuck together. I got the sponges off all the pipes. I'm gonna clean these rollers off a little bit, and then I can start putting my new ones on. The new sponges are so satisfying. Now, from what I remember, the last time doing this, it was actually a huge pain getting these on here. But we'll see. The problem is you get them on there, and then you don't really want to scuff them up, so you got to really fiddle with them. I just worked the first one to the middle. And that's when I wonder if I had it kind of wet, like with water, if it would be better. I don't really know. It was taking me a while, so I figured because we're only using this washer at the moment, I better get this one done. So I did the same thing to that as I did to this. Got all my sponges off, and just like before, I was kind of just really working them on there, taking a long time and trying not to damage the sponges, like ripping them as I'm putting them on because it's so dry. You obviously can't put any kind of grease or oil on there because that would contaminate the vegetables. And so I came down here to the water and I started running my pipes underneath, just getting them a little bit wet. And then what I'm doing is, after I get them a little bit wet, just like that, I'll take then, and I'll even put my sponge just a little bit underneath the water, squeeze it on top, and it just goes right down really nice, making the process go literally at least 2 to 3 times faster. And so this is my new method now. And I'll hopefully be done in about an hour, just because no matter what, it's gonna take time. But this is way better. That's it right there. So all these are out. All my new sponges are on, which looks awesome. And now I can start putting them back in. Beautiful. Alrighty, so both washes are now done. Looks so much nicer with those white sponges, even though they're not gonna stay white. It started to rain for actually like a half hour to an hour. So the guys got out of the field and cleaned 2 baskets of garlic for us for the markets, which is really nice. And then this is all of the cucumbers and pickles that they got finished up, which is a really good amount. The most we've had yet, but that's also because we've been irrigating them. Sadly though, the rain that we've been getting has not been enough, so I'm getting on the tractor now, gonna hook up to the irrigation wagon, and we're gonna go start moving pipe around. We're gonna pull it out of the pickles and cantaloupe and watermelon and move it into our onions and mid-season cabbage. We are in the process of coming out through now with the pipe. We're not putting any rainbirds in our tomatoes because we obviously are dripping them underneath, if you've been following along. And so that doesn't need to be done overhead, but we are gonna now overhead irrigate the onions and the mid-season cabbage. These onions are doing good, but they definitely need some water. You can see the size that they're at, but we'd like them to get a little bit bigger. And as long as their tops are still green, we're hoping they're gonna still, you know, soak up that water and blow up the onion a little more. And so I'm gonna step it off now and see if we can get away with running 1 line through the middle of these onions or 2. I'm hoping 1 will be enough. That way we don't have to use more irrigation pipe and spend more time on it. The first pickles are now coming out onto the new sponges. So nice. We got the entire line run from the mid-season cabbage all the way back to our house, which is where our underground line comes up. And for the most part, we had all the right pipes. And by the right pipes, I mean the ones with plugs and rainbirds. But we had a couple here at the end that we had just nothing in at all. And we already had our rainbirds where we needed them. So I'm just gonna throw caps in them. We always throw a little bit of WD on it, just because these can be miserable coming back out if you don't put some kind of oil on them. And then you don't have to screw them in real, oops, that was a little smaller. You don't have to screw them in real far, just like one turn, or maybe not even a full turn. Pop's out there now, just checking everything out like he usually does. The only thing we're afraid of with the onions is, as you can see, the tops are going down on them. And we think that might possibly mean that they're done growing or just about done growing. And if they are, there's nothing we can do about it. We'll just have to sell them the way they are. But we're hoping that it's gonna give them a little bit of life yet and blow them up, at least somewhat. And so we'll see what happens here within the next couple days after we irrigate them later on tonight. But the cabbage is gonna be just fine. Now we are ready to start the line. So I gotta prime the water all the way up to the pump, which requires opening that valve and then doing a lot of pumping. The cows are hungry. Because we have so much back pressure coming down from our house, I gotta bleed this valve a little bit.
Third time's the charm. Whoa. Hi. Hi, pretty girl. Oh,
We just got it up and running. It all seems to be going really well. It's not getting the entire field. We are more concerned about the broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. So it's getting all of that, but right down here at the end, which I want to get moving before I get wet, it's not getting all the way here. Actually, it just about is to the kohlrabi, which kohlrabi seems to grow regardless, so that's why I said we weren't worried, but it's just about getting all of it, so it's almost doing a perfect job. Definitely better than nothing, that's for sure. It's the next day. We're just getting packed and loaded now for the Scranton Farmers Market. Today is Wednesday. Out here in the field, Mom was working on getting collard greens, I think, kohlrabi, some dill, broccoli, all that kind of stuff. We like to harvest all that stuff the same morning that we go to market, just because we like it to look really fresh and really healthy. If you try and pick it the day before, it never looks the same. And by halfway through the day, it just looks wilty and not very nice. Mom's working on kale at the moment. Beautiful. Voila. We just got back from picking corn. That's the second bin. Here's the first. And then here's all of our kale, kohlrabi, cucumbers, tomatoes. Back there's cabbage. And this is the last thing besides a couple baskets of beans and garlic to go on yet. We're just pulling in here to the Scranton Farmers Market now. The market is already packed with people. They're giving away the $10 farmer WIC checks today. Not giving them away, but you have to fill it out. If you're a senior or a mother that has kids or is pregnant, you can get, I think, up to like maybe even $60 in checks that you get for free for fresh produce grown in Pennsylvania. And so everybody's down there right now in line getting their paperwork filled out, so hopefully they can get those. We are in the process of getting everything filled up at the moment. We got a lot to do, but we're coming along pretty quick. With the 2 bins of corn, all our supplies is back here. That's going down quick to get onto the table. While those 4 are working on that, I'm back here bunching the dill that me and Mom picked about an hour ago. The dill is definitely about half the size that it usually is, but that's only because of the lack of rain. Of course, we get no rain at home, and it is now raining up here, but that's just the way it goes.
I don't yet, no. We'll get down there.
We'll get you one in a minute, hold on. You gotta empty some stuff. Right, one more.
Chrissy,
All right, hold on.
explanation needed.
What?
Uh,
What is it? Oh, from Colorado?
she has a play button. She presses. Goes off. 5 coming down.
I crossed out the person's name that used this check to purchase some of our vegetables, but this is that check right there that I was talking about. You have to use it from June 1st to November 30th or it's no good. Forward purchase of locally grown fresh fruits, vegetables, and edible herbs only at farmers markets or roadside stands with an authorized farmer. And it's the Farmers Market Nutrition Program. Then you'd sign your name right here, and you have to spend all $10 all at one time at that particular farmer's store or stand.
How are you?
All right.
$6. Anything else? Great day.
All right, 11?
I just got back here to the farm. Of course, it rained all day at market, or not all day, but off and on all day, and nothing here. This is what the truck looks like now. Brought back like quarter to a half, maybe we'll call it a third bin of cabbage, a pallet here of all sorts of odds and ends, couple broccoli, couple kohlrabi, 1 crate of eggplant, 1 crate of bell peppers, quarter basket of beans, 2 boxes of onions, and so on. And then 1 crate of corn, which is basically nothing, couple bunches of dill. So now Sammy and I are gonna get this thing unloaded, everything in the cooler, and then head home for the night.
I know how to drive tractors and everything else around here, but Logan won't teach me how to drive that.